Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going into the spooky side of Book of the Month. She says in the most chipper, non-spooky way possible. Today, I don't actually have this book. I used to. It was given to me as a birthday or Christmas present ages ago when I was still in uni, which looking back is way too far long ago. Oh geez. But yeah, it must be at my parents' house or something because I can't find it for the life of me. But I had to mention it because it is such a good book for the season, and I've just really had a hankering to reread it, so I'm gonna have to get my hands on that at some point. This is Naomis Room, and I will put a screenshot of it here. Naomis Room is a very fascinating combination between a horror and a psychological thriller of sorts. It's a very hard book to describe genre-wise because it just has so much to offer, and I love it. Considering how much I love horror, I don't read a lot of it, which is kind of disappointing. I watch more horror than I read, and I really need to fix that. Maybe that's going to be one of my reading resolutions, I don't know. We'll see, but let's get back on track. Naomis Room covers the story of a young, happily married couple, Charles and Laura, as they embark on the new adventure that is having a baby. They are pregnant, they are happy, everything seems good, things just seem to be working out so well for them, and then they have this angelic little girl, Naomi. However, things take a really dark turn when she's 4 years old and Charles takes her on a Christmas Eve shopping trip, only to find that she is vanished. In a toy shop, she is just disappeared. No sign of her, and he is forced to return home with the police because he can't find his little girl. A few days later, the police find Naomi's mangled body. We're off to a really cheery start. But then, as well as having to go through that kind of horror, they also start noticing that some things are going on around the house that may be linked to Naomi. Is she really dead? Is she dead but her spirit is unsettled? Or have they gone through so much trauma that this is how their mind is coping? What follows is a very twisted and insane journey, jumping from past to present from Charles's perspective, where he's trying to make sense of all the strange things that are happening around his house, but he's also trying to keep hold of his sanity. Is this really the spirit of his daughter haunting him, or is he just going insane and holding on to that one shred of hope that maybe they can recover from this? It's so interesting, and the way that the hauntings are described, it could go either way, and that is what I love. The mystery and the suspense is ongoing, it never takes a break, and the fact that it jumps from past to present, 1 minute seeing a happy scene, suddenly reliving a horror, to how they are struggling with it in that moment and all over the place, it keeps you on edge because you do not know, like even though you know where they end up to some extent because you're seeing things from the present day, you still don't know how they got there or how exactly they ended up that way, if this is really how things are. It could be a lie, you don't know, because you're looking at things from a very troubled perspective that has gone through one of the biggest horrors you can imagine. But in saying that, the horror aspect is so well done. When you do see aspects of supernatural or haunting, or even like the whisperings of a child calling out to her dad, it's chilling. It is genuinely chilling. It knows how to get under your skin. It knows how to play on everyday fears and morph them into something that fits this very specific situation that I hope to God you never find yourself in. It's insane. What's more is that it actually adds character. When you, like, say you were watching a horror film in this situation, it would just be the depressed dad, the sad mother. They wouldn't have much of a personality beyond that because they wouldn't need to, because you're only focusing on the spookiness rather than the characters, and that is where so many horror movies fail, is that they're so gung-ho on showing the horror and the scares and the spooks that they don't really give much character development, because either that character is going to die or they weren't designed to be cared about because we just want to see the spooky monster. Here, books are given a little bit more leeway in terms of horror, because we are seeing things from a character's perspective and seeing how they react and how they grow and how they can try to overcome something like this. And it really works here. It gives these parents actual personalities and a way of bouncing off each other. They grieve and they see these unexplainable events in very different ways, and even though we're majority seeing from one perspective, it still gives leeway to let us see into someone else's mind and how they might be coping with it, how they are seeing things, and it just adds so much more development and depth to what could have been a very plain and simple psychological horror. The descriptions are very slow and careful, but designed in such a way that it does get under your skin. You do feel yourself in that moment. You feel what the character's feeling. It's very skilled, and I haven't really read a horror book that is skilled in that way. I've read other horror books that are very skilled of getting under your skin and playing on fears, but this one just does things a little bit differently, and I can't fully describe what it is, which is really frustrating, and I'm sorry about that. So the reason why I'm choosing this book that I haven't actually read in a long time compared to something more recent isn't just because I haven't read a horror book that would fit this theme, even though that is basically true. I'm just being honest with you. It's also because I haven't read a book like it in a long time, and it just suddenly came to mind when I was going through my books of what to read next that I should read something spooky, but I haven't been able to find something that just really resonates with me. And I was looking through things that I've read that did in the past, and that just came up. And now I can't stop thinking about it, and now I need to read it again. And I can't find it anywhere. Maybe the spirit of the book has vanished like the ghost itself. Who knows? I would definitely recommend giving this book a go. It's not like gore for gore's sake horror, it's not too over the top or in your face, it's just the right level of subtle to creep under your skin without you really realizing it, and then when something does happen, it hits you even more because you've had this slow build-up. And it's not a particularly long book either, from what I remember. It's a fairly quick read, but not in a quick read as in it's simple, it's quick as in you just power through it, and density-wise it's only like that, so it's not too bad. I'm sure I've reviewed this on my website years ago as well. I'll have to put a link in that if I can find it. It was some time ago. It's dark, it's gritty, it covers some grim and horrible real-life issues that are still happening today, but set in a time where we didn't have the resources that we did now, and the genuine feeling of hopelessness and the genuine feeling that something is not right with your mind to make you see these things and try to seek answers that just can't be real. It's just so expertly crafted. I have not read a book like it in a long time, and I need to read it again. It has a bit of a similar feel to, I want to say it has a similar feel to The Little Stranger by Sarah Walters, but it kind of, there's clearly some inspiration taken there, but it does its own thing. It doesn't rely on her techniques, and it definitely knows how to build characters a lot better than that book, because Little Stranger, the premise was there, but the story itself just dragged, and do not get me started on the frickin' abomination of a movie that just butchered any hope that the book might have had. But I'm getting off topic again. What else is new? Great horror, great characters, great psychological nonsense, and also adding the aspect, like for me personally, whenever a child is involved in a danger or horror situation, I immediately go into protect the babu mindset. I don't know whether it's because I work with children, or I'm the oldest sibling, or there are so many younger kids in my family. I don't know. I just go into like this protective mother bear mode, even when it's in a book or a movie or a TV show and there's nothing I can do. I must protect the babu. Jesus, you did not want to be anywhere near me when I was playing the Walking Dead games, because, oh my god. But that is the feeling you get when reading this. It is a horrific situation and you really feel for the parents, and then when these spooky things start happening and genuine moments of terror, that borderline the gothic themes in a way, very nostalgic to gothic actually, now that I think about it, which just makes it even better. You feel yourself getting drawn in and you feel the chill on your skin, you hear the whispers, it's very immersive. And I love it. So I think I'm going to leave it here before I go on even more of a tangent and start bringing up even more horror books and films that have nothing to do with this, but maybe worth talking about. Maybe that's going to be a video at some point. We'll wait and see. But I will leave it there. So Naomi's Room, definitely worth a read. Definitely a good book for the spooky Halloween season. And hopefully I get to find it soon. But until then, I hope you're doing well, I hope you're staying safe, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, my scribblers.